Um, I'd like to welcome everyone to this evening's monthly meeting of the South Strabane Township Supervisors. Thank you for attending, and the board appreciates your attendance. I want you to know that. It's good that the folks come in and are concerned about what's going on in the township and get to find out the various piece of information that you need to have about our township. Roll call, four supervisors are present. We have one by phone, and that's Russ Grego. We have our township manager. We have our director of planning and zoning. We have our solicitor this evening. We have our code enforcement officer. Got our financial director. We got our roadmaster, our road foreman. And am I missing anybody? Okay, we got them all. Okay, thank you very much. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, one justice for all.
Thank you. Yeah, I heard that. Number 3, public comment time. The Township Board of Supervisors allocates a period of time during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Supervisors on any matter. Each person addressing the Board of Supervisors is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Do we have a list this evening? Okay.
Stephen Smith.
Would you come to the podium, please?
As I'm sure you're all aware, we had a little bit of water problems over the weekend. And I was just wondering what, if we had any kind of plan for this in the future. I just have some concerns about, the mall being tore down. I mean, it's been about 6 years since the creek has done that. We did have substantial rainfall, but I mean, it appears that there is a failure in many parts of the stormwater system. So that's really my question. Do you guys have any kind of plan? Are we working on a plan to mitigate this in the near future?
Yeah, we're working on a plan. Mr. Ziegler, do you have any information to add to that? We are taking a look at all that information along with our fire chief and our code enforcement officer and our roadmaster. But go ahead, Mr. Ziegler. I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, I was just going to say, is there emergency management coordinator here? Did he step out? Or?
He's coming back.
Okay, he could address the specifics of.
Jordan Kramer, our fire chief, is our emergency manager.
I've talked to him. He's been very kind. We've communicated a good bit. Just, we're really looking for information.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll be in the room, and I'll ask him to come up and explain it. I think he wants it. He's addressing the flood issue.
Right.
He'll be back in a few minutes.
All right.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, next.
Okay, and we have Matt McGarity.
Yes, good evening. Thanks for allowing us to be here tonight. First of all, very similar to the concerns. My name is Matt McGarity. I'm the plant manager at SMS Group down here on Manifold Road. We currently employ 48 employees. And as of today, I'm very concerned about our future. Simply the investments that our company has made over the last 10 years, specifically upwards of $8 million. And with the state road being a concern, the commercial development, the residential development, as well as the private lanes that have stormwater coming onto Manifold Road. So question is very similar. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about what happened last weekend, but the concerns are an ongoing effect. Some of the noticeable concerns I have is the retainment pond above my facility. That is the old mill development. Retainment ponds are not, to my concern, not working. They were very, very dry, as you could see water pouring right down the hill, and the retainment pond is right to the left. We notified them, and their civil engineers looked at it and said, no concerns, it's working as it should. So I guess we're not here to blame the township, but there's a lot of things in play, whether it's the state whether it's the residential properties that are being developed, as well as the commercial properties that are being developed. So as a community, we don't want to sit here and blame the township, but that's where we're at. We're in the
What is your
township.
company again?
SMS Group, it was for the big blue buildings down
No,
here.
yeah,
That's
I
what,
know.
that's what everybody refers it to as. But yeah, we had 18 inches of water coming right through the shop, blew the garage doors right off the tracks. Both buildings, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, I do want to thank the Township Fire Company for their assistance Saturday night. We were there till about 3 o'clock in the morning, doing what we could to try and get water out. We have, geez, I don't even want to guess. I know for sure $3 million today worth of damages in our machine equipment that was assessed this week. We have one more that they were there today, a separate company assessing that work. And what it's going to take to get us back up and running. Again, we are okay with the damages now and that happened, but more importantly, what are we going to do as a community, as a township to do something to prevent this? Because it's only a matter of time, right? We bought the sandbags, we bought the barriers to put up, but I'm really concerned of the commercial development as well as the residential, the private lanes that drain right down onto Manifold Road that are not the township's responsibility from what I understand, as well as the road not being the township's responsibility because it's a state road, as well as the commercial development that is privately owned by whoever those people are. So as a group, I think we have to get together and figure out what are we to do.
And we, go ahead, I'll let you.
May I ask a question? Mr. Rob, you're doing some type of stormwater management assessment, correct? Your firm.
When was the last time this happened?
It was at least 6 or 8 years ago.
6 years.
And that was the same exact situation where that retainment pond was bone dry and there was excavators up there the week after my company reached out to the developers.
Has it happened before that?
No, sir. That business has been in play for,
I know Jordan, our fire chief is, just came in the room and he's gonna explain these things at announcement time. But he's gonna be talking to you, getting a report from you and also get a report from you. He's filed a declaration, all right, to the county and the state, Jordan, for funds to correct what we can correct. I don't know what they correct for you. I don't know what's private, what we can take care of.
sure.
But we have no one sitting on our hands. He's our.
No, I'm not saying you guys
he
aren't
moved-
trying your best. There's just so many people in play with commercial, with state roads, with private lanes.
Right.
And who's the referee to understand who's responsible for
Right.
what and who can hold who accountable? Because unfortunately, my hands are tied.
Dave Johnson was my neighbor. I've known Dave since I was a very young man. In those 55 years, I was in that, when that CNC was put in the first time, I was in that room. I can't believe after all these years that this has happened twice. Something has happened there and
Well,
it needs correcting.
there's absolutely
was
something
not
has
put in
happened.
right, or something needs correcting.
I mean, we know what has happened above us with the development of all the strip malls and whatnot. We know that people are building houses all the time. We also know that the storm drains to my knowledge, haven't been improved on the state road, which is Manifold. I also know that I believe it's the private lane, Patricia Lane, which is right, is a private lane.
You mean Patricia or Patrina? I think.
Patrina, yeah, it
Yeah.
might correct me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we've talked to the township supervisor, or I'm sorry, the road, they can't help us because it's a private lane. But I got videos and you go up there when it's raining and it's just a complete right down across Manifold Road and into my shop. So it's a concern. And again, I don't know what to do. That's why I'm here asking who or how we get this group together. Again, because there's so many different entities in play. the state, the commercial side, the private side, and the township side.
Okay, he'll be up there explaining that declaration here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Listen to him carefully, make contact with him. You too, sir. How we could be. you could
Not
be-
to mention the residents as
No,
well.
no, we have other concerns too. That hit us good, that flooding and so forth. Thank you.
If I could just say
Go ahead.
one other thing, I mean, I think we're on the same page with this. I mean, we understand that it's private property, but who enforces, like on Oak Spring Road, I mean, those are retaining ponds. I don't even know the last time they were made. I know they got some people that cut stuff down there. I mean, who do we go to see to that these retaining ponds, that these culvert pipes are maintenance?
Well, the first step,
That's really what our question is.
Yeah,
So I'm like-
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
first step is your
our-
first step is then letting us know about it,
Sure.
so we can pay attention to it.
Yeah. And I mean, aside from, and I don't want to scare anybody, but aside from a class action lawsuit, or we just don't know what to do.
Right. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay,
Stop up after the meeting. I need
Okay.
your information, okay?
all right. I can give you a card now if you
Yeah,
want.
go ahead. Good. You have something too you could? Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for,
Thank you.
thank you,
Appreciate your time.
thank for your presentation too. Okay, Mrs. Ziegler, what else you have here?
Okay, Zach Morgan.
All right, it's come to my understanding, the township started charging to, the cross-country teams to use community park course, back in August of '24. It's always been free up to that point. The question is that true? Did the township supervisors vote on this fee? The way I understand it, there's a fee to use it for practice and for meets. And the questions come up of how will this impact the dog park if that goes forward? You have two bridges that get you to that field. And both bridges are part of the cross-country course. So if a team is paying to use the course and then we have a dog park as well, how is that going to be policed to this is off limits? And I've just like a follow-up response, Mr. Ziegler. I don't know-
Zach, what do I ask you? Is this the JFK or where is the
It's
cross-country team?
It's Trinity and JFK. So Trinity has youth, middle school, and high school.
Running
And JFK has youth and middle school.
Okay.
So that's their home course. Like I said, I don't know how this fee became, if it is true, that's what's happening, how that became the law, how we got to that point. But I'd like to know the fee of it. And if you wanted an email, like a formal email, like to answer some of the questions or.
No, if you just want to get me your email before you leave today, I'll just write to you and give you the answers to that.
Okay.
As far as the dog park part of it, I could answer that right now. As you know, the dog park's in very early stages. In fact, the supervisors just submitted one grant for that at this point. So it's in its early stages and there's not a formal design on that. So as far as how that would interact with a cross-country trail, that's yet to be determined, but that would be something that would be taken into consideration. When you put a new amenity in a park, you don't want to do that at the jeopardy of other amenities and other users. So
Right.
what
I mean,
we
like
would
putting it
wanna-
in the outfield of the ball
what we would
field.
want to do is make sure that everybody that currently uses the park and the future uses are all able to do so sort of harmoniously.
So that's what I was looking for.
Okay,
All right.
thanks, Zach.
And one more, Linda Roomba.
Hi, this doesn't have anything to do with water or anything, but I just wanted to let you guys know that Jordan and Jason both came out about a alarm going off. It's been going off for weeks. It never stops, and it's a loud screeching sound at the Schmucker building. And Jeff and Kristen, everybody has been all over this, and they were able to get the alarm turned off. Whether it stays that way, I don't know, but just want to let you know that they came out immediately with less than 24 hours, this was addressed. So I appreciate that. And I wanted you guys as their bosses to recognize the 4 of them.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the information. Is there someone else on the?
Yeah, wait, right there.
Oh, go ahead. Come on up.
My name's John Lieberman. I own some property on Country Club Road, building number 16, 16 and a half, and 18. A couple years ago, from what I recall, the township supervisors, or parts of them, and the county commissioners parked in my parking lot and walked to the back of my property. The back of my property goes up a valley, which all the way goes up to the assisted living, which is off of Locust. And that valley goes underneath Locust and continues all the way up the side of that hillside. When it rains, there's no control. I know they talked to one of the commissioners a while back, and they said, well, we were going to see about getting an engineer firm to look at it, or the Army Corps of Engineers to look at what they could do to stop that flooding. When it rained 2 weeks ago, Country Club Road was 7 feet underwater at my place. If one of my buildings, 16, got totally flooded. Everything inside is trash. You have to stop the water. When it rained last Monday, it rained for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There was a stream coming from that back valley that had to be 6, 8 feet wide and about 8 inches deep, just rolling down the parking lot. My back parking lot is pervious, so it's gravel. So any water that does hit there tries to get through that. And I have a little bit of concrete on the approach to the buildings, but that is it. So why does it flood out that place at least 3 or 4 times a year? That road gets shut down and gravel is like scattered.
What is your address again so we can get it down?
18 Country Club Road, 16 Country Club Road, and 16 and a half Country Club Road. It's right across the street from Gateway Storage Sheds.
Okay,
And person beside me
I
is
know where.
Wilson Storage Sheds.
okay, I got you. Okay,
But whatever happened to that progress that was started between the commissioners in this township? Years ago.
I can't answer that for you, but I don't remember being down there doing that. But how many years ago was this?
It was probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's Harlan Schober, when I saw people walking around the parking lot, Harlan Schober was there. So he was the commissioner at the time.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So,
I don't remember being there, but we'll check that out too for you.
Okay,
Okay, we
will
will
do.
do it. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
And the nursing home is coming from, it would be Hawthorne.
Yeah, that valley
Yeah.
starts there and it goes all the way up. Like I said, it goes underneath Locust
I didn't
Street.
realize that water was
Continued
that.
all the way up there. It just constantly comes down.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else, Mr. Ziegler?
No, that is the list.
Okay, is that it? Okay. Oh, yeah, anybody on Zoom? I forgot, you're right. Thank you for asking me to say it. No one on Zoom? Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that information.
Motion, we approve the meeting minutes for May 27th.
Sure, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the meeting minutes for May 27th, 2025, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Financial business approval of the payrolls for the periods of May 11th, 2025 through May 24th, 25, and May 25 through June 7th, 2025, and bills for the period May 24th, 25 through June 20th, 2025. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. George, Mr. Sherlin. Any further discussion or any discussion on it? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed?
No,
Motion carries 4-1. Announcements and recognitions. Just let the folks know, the Board of Supervisors held an executive session on June 20th, 2025 concerning personnel. The Board of Supervisors held an informational session on June 20th, 2025 concerning Burkett Manor. Now, at this time, what Jordan Kramer, Fire Chief, would you want to come up first, since these people have these concerns about the flood and so forth? You can address that now. Let them know what has transpired so far.
So just a quick rundown of what happened. I think most people were kind of aware, but the flooding that occurred was very, very isolated to South Strabane Township. If you go a few miles north of us or south from us, they received very little rain, and some of the areas didn't receive any rain at all. On June 14th, Saturday, around 6:30 p.m., we received a little bit of rain very, very quickly around 6:30 p.m. that caused very isolated flooding. We got about 4 or 5 calls. We responded to those. Things died down for a few hours. Around 8:30 p.m., we received a sustained period of rain for about 2 hours that resulted in flash flooding, widespread flooding within South Strabane Township. That resulted in a period of significant calls for the fire department as well as police and public works. Those calls came in quickly. Many of those were high acuity, very severe calls. We had cars that were trapped in water, folks that were trapped inside, people that were trapped in garages and homes. There was an electrical fire, all of these incidents happening simultaneously. So we had some mutual aid departments that came in, many of our firefighters that responded from home to come and help us, volunteer and career firefighters. So we're appreciative of all the assistance that occurred for us. So between Saturday and Sunday, about a 36-hour period, we responded to 40 calls that ranged from some pretty severe emergencies all the way to flooding and damage assessments. Throughout the week of June 15th, we had several other rounds of rain that made this entire situation a little bit more difficult. The Township Board of Supervisors thankfully approved a disaster declaration on Monday, the 15th, or excuse me, on Monday, the 16th, which will allow us, if any type of aid becomes available from either the state through FEMA or the federal government, which is unlikely through FEMA, we would be eligible for that at that point. Without that disaster declaration, the potential that we would be eligible is unlikely. So before storms, normally emergency management's preparing for them. During, we're helping with logistics and coordinating the response. And then after, what we're doing is trying to see what happens and logging and doing damage assessments. We've been working on emergency management for the past few years. So one thing that I can tell you, listening to what you've experienced for the past few years and some of the folks on Oak Spring, we don't have wonderful data from prior to 2022. What I can tell you is this past storm, everything that happened, everyone that had us do a damage assessment, it's been logged through GIS data. We know exactly where flooding occurred. We know the amount of damage that occurred, and we will have that for future years. So if we have another flooding event 2 months from now, we'll be doing the same thing. So if we do have the opportunity for brick grants, all types of other state funding, we will actually be able to go to them this time with data and say, we've experienced this amount of flooding, we've experienced this amount of loss, and this is why we need funding, which without that information is very, very difficult to get those grants approved.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
I think somebody else can chime in. What the documentation of the previous flooding from 2022 and prior didn't exist because all the development and all these new changes in the township weren't there. It rained back then. We just didn't have all that we have now. And I'm afraid that the water retention or whatever we want to call it wasn't managed with the growth that took place in the area.
Sure.
And again, who do we go to get that help?
Sure.
Because nothing, I mean, that building has been there for 60 years and it's been raining for 60 years. And we've never had this type of experience until recently.
Sure.
Because the decks just got completed and paved and boom. So.
Yep. So we spoke with the National Weather Service again today. Unfortunately, their gauge that is at the Washington airport is not working. Their closest gauge is in Charleroi, and that's not even near accurate data to tell us what type of rain we got. they didn't tell us why, but they're unable to read what it was. So we're in discussion with them to, if we can assist. Yeah. We had information, unofficial information from them that they think in South Strabane Township, we got about 4 inches of rain within 90 minutes or so, which no matter what will overwhelm the stormwater system. It's just not built to handle that.
Hey, Jordan, before you go any further, these 3 people that have talked tonight, or the residents, have you already talked to them before this?
Yeah, we've been in direct conversation.
So you have a,
We did fire department with damage assessment. Yeah. 16 and a half, 16 and 18. Yeah.
do we have all 3 of them on record?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yep. Yeah, they are all logged as part of the damage assessment. So where we are now, through folks signing up and our crews kind of canvassing, our hardest hit areas surround Oak Spring Road, Locust Road, Country Club, Manifold, Cameron, Lakeview, Corey, and areas off East Bow, as well as a few other kind of outliers. So far, through very rough estimates, throughout the township, it's estimated just under $5 million worth of damage total. I've been in touch with our county emergency management colleagues, as well as folks from PEMA. Again, the township did a disaster declaration. Some neighboring municipalities also did that, which again will help us as well. So we've compiled all that data at this point. I'll engage our engineer pretty soon and kind of show them where we're having issues. We can actually now overlay the data that we've been able to obtain with our township stormwater maps, maybe see if there's anything interesting that shows up. We'll look at our subject matter experts for that, see if they have anything that, jumps out at them. But we will be working to try to see if there's any type of funding that we can get for South Strabane Township and the residents. One thing that we know for sure right now is that our residents and businesses will be eligible for SBA low interest loans if needed. So because of the very, very serious flooding, much more serious than what we experienced in West Virginia, Washington County borders Ohio County. So because we border them, we will be eligible for SBA loans. As part of that, the SBA will open up an office somewhere in South Strabane where our residents can go and apply for those loans and apply for assistance. Once that information becomes available, we will provide that information to our residents, but we don't have all that information yet. That's all still very active right now. Once we finalize our report from all the information that we've gathered, we'll put that into a report format and we'll put that out on the websites and on social media. But again, we've done 88 assessments so far. Those are the areas where everything is kind of focused on. And I give our firefighters, the public works has done an absolutely phenomenal job in supporting everything that's gone on, as well as the police department. So it's, not a great circumstance. However, everyone's really done a very good job. So I'm thankful for
Give us
everyone.
the assessment on that big crater that the road caved in someplace, or where is that?
Oak Spring Plaza. So it is across from the mall. It's actually under the same ownership of Washington Mall. So the entrance to Eaton Park, as well as the plaza, Oak Spring Plaza, about 50% of the drive lane into that plaza collapsed. So when we were dispatched for that, we had about a 15-foot in diameter crater that was about 15 feet deep. We also had a active gas leak that was flowing in it, and some other utilities that were affected as well. And we had some damage, which I'm sure most people have heard at the fire station. So we are working with some of the state politicians to hopefully get some funding from them to fix those damages as well.
Do any of the folks have a question of him while he's still standing here?
Yes, and I appreciate you guys. You guys were great. I mean, that is a real concern because all the pipe under the fire station in the parking lot, it didn't have to bump. I mean, that could become a situation. They got to be watching it happen. These guys do a great job, but I mean, how quick is that? Or actually, it's a real safety concern. $1 million fire trucks. There could be another sinkhole, right? I mean, we're all aware of what happened. Absolutely. So fire issues here, but I don't think we can ignore the fire department. Yeah.
Thankfully, Public Works did put essentially a Band-Aid on the inlet to it. The other thing that they did at the end of last week was one of the areas where the parking lot was sinking. They were able to cut into the parking lot and expose the area that was sinking for us to see essentially whether there was anything underneath of it or not. There was a chance that either it was nothing and it had been washed away, or that we had some solid ground underneath. And they were able to find that we did still have some solid ground underneath. So they repacked it so that we can still drive over it at this point, but we do know that it's slowly eroding. So we know that we have some significant repair there, but we are trying to assess and see if we can obtain some emergency funding from the state to do the long-term repair there.
Thank you.
That repair is likely in the six
There's
figures.
another question.
So the Country Club Road situation, that area, because it happened on the weekend, we're not physically present there. So we didn't find our damage till Sunday morning, where everything washed out. That road never got cleaned at all. The gravel that came out of our parking lot is still sitting on that.
Yeah, so we can notify PennDOT tomorrow.
Okay.
What's difficult, especially even with the stormwater there, like you mentioned Locust all the way down to Country Club. PennDOT for both of those. So as Kevin can attest, we dealt with a lot of difficulties this storm with assessing what we can do and not do. And he can also attest that we made decisions where we had to clear some PennDOT drains based on public safety because we could not wait for PennDOT to get out here. The priorities that they placed on our roadways, So we will certainly make notification on that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
One more question, Jordan. Jordan, come on.
Well, just so as we move forward with the demolition of the old Washington Mall, I have to think, or in fact, the question is, has somebody assessed what's going to happen there? I mean, once they take this down, it's going to be better, worse. Is that being looked into?
I'm sure it's being looked into, but it's a county project rather than a township project. Well, yeah,
It's us, no.
It has something
It's
to do with
us.
us, but
Rob, you can, I mean, I know they're putting 3 detention ponds at the RV center that has no detention ponds now. And I believe they're putting all new in under.
Everything's being done there. I don't.
He's our engineer.
I can tell you, assessing the property shortly after this happened with the new owner of that area, the new owner is very aware of the fact that the ponds, as they sit in front of Oak Spring Plaza, that may or may not have affected the flooding that both of our properties experienced, may have affected the amount of water that we took on. And he's not thrilled about that. So I've heard 2 or 3 different sizes, but I believe they're replacing it with like a 98-inch pipe. It likely was about 78 inches. It's a non-standard pipe. The pipe that they're putting in, I believe they actually have a base specific for this project. Yeah, slow it down a little bit. Right. Yeah, that's certainly one of the areas where we've got to.
hey, Jordan, would you just remain there? I'm gonna bring Kevin up now, okay? Kevin Montgomery. Kevin, would you come up to the podium, please? Kevin's our roadmaster, our road foreman, and he'll give you a brief description of what is taking place on one of our roads, Berry Road, that's shut down right now. So if you give a briefing why it has to be, why it's shut down and what the prognosis is.
Yeah, sure. So basically, like everything else, the storm come through there and basically washed through the pipe. So we have no material underneath that pipe. It's hollow under that road right now. Assessing the pipe, the age of it, it needs replaced. To get in there, and Rob can correct me, you probably need permitting. And with the advisement of the manager and stuff, we decided to close that down. And going further, if we do replace this, is probably to see if we should upsize this with head walls and end walls to prevent this from happening, because the resident there took on flooding also. So
And it wasn't just the pipe, it totally washed out an area on both sides of the pipe and shipped the pipe. It's a massive amount of water.
Hey, Rob, what can you say about all this? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but
Well, I haven't.
You haven't looked at the site?
Doing the assessments. I haven't been able to connect with them to get out and do everything yet, so anything I would say would be.
wouldn't, okay,
I would rather just let these guys do what they need to do and then I'll connect with them.
okay.
Suspect by
Okay,
next
one
week.
thing I think you can speak to, you can speak to the issue that we did survey that road, that we're coming up with some type of a summary about Berry Road, aren't we?
Berry Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so the township engaged Trans Associates to do a study on improvements to Berry Road. And I was gonna report that in my report, but.
I was going to report under mine too. but go ahead.
So there was a meeting just this past month with both myself and the township staff, kind of update status on that study. They're making good progress, and our hope would be to be in a position to submit for at least some phase of improvements to Berry Road, depending on where we are. Now, this obviously may change things a little bit, may shift our focus a little bit, but to be in a position to use some of the outcomes of that study to approach LSA for funding again this year.
Gotcha.
So, again, that was the intent all along, so this may change how we approach that, but again, I had a chance.
Well, for now, the road's closed, the traffic, and you're gonna get out there and take a look at it with Kevin and,
At some point in the near future, hopefully maybe maybe this week, if you got such time, but, yeah, get out there, take a look at everything that they've witnessed and go through everything and.
okay, bro.
Mr. Glover, with Berry Road being closed right now, the amount of traffic on Mansell, you can't get onto 19, can't make a right on 19 by you can't even, I mean, you can't get out because you put all this infrastructure up here and you close down one of the main roads there, and it's ugly right now.
Yeah.
It's difficult. You can't get out. You just can't.
Explain, thank you for telling me. Kevin, explain the extent of damage to the road. Is the whole road out or?
So, yeah, basically, I can't safely open this road because I'm literally washed out, and I have pictures halfway across that road. There's a major void in it. I mean, it's not passable.
Matter of time.
Where
before
is
one vehicle
this on
goes
Berry Road? Like, I know you closed it from like the old mill down.
Yes, so it would be down by just past the Zipco farm. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Yes. Yep, right there.
On the Manifold Road.
So from Manifold to just past the little house at Zipco.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
So
I know a lot of people use that road, so.
Purposes, that entire piece of Berry Road. is closed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just no way to open it whatsoever safely until this is corrected.
Changing it. We're not changing the flow of the stream.
You're still working in the stream.
And with
Okay.
the Berry Road survey being done, it's prudent and best use of taxpayers' dollars to wait till that comes back and see what it recommends and go proceed from there, with that being the first thing to be done. I mean, we fought Berry Road for how many years we talked about it. One of the solutions was to close Berry Road. I guess we're getting a test to see how that works out right now, which may help provide some more information for the survey that's being done. When do they estimate the completion of the survey? Or is
So,
it complete?
yeah, I was going to bring that up. For everyone, there's a lot of interest in this. So it's expected at the July meeting, they're going to make a presentation here in front of the supervisors. So anyone who is interested in that, please come to that meeting and then you can see it and ask questions. It's the next July supervisors meeting. So what, the fourth Tuesday of July? Yeah, is that the fourth Tuesday? Yeah.
Well, I need to tell you that Mantle Road is not, and all that stuff. I can tell you right now, I can't even pull out onto it. I can't get onto 19.
All right. Anything else, Jordan? Anything else, Kev? Rob? Anything? Okay.
Just a reminder, because some other communities were having some confusion. We are taking all the steps right now preemptively to ensure that if aid becomes available, our residents will qualify. South Strabane, the county, the state, no one currently has aid available specifically for this recent flood. One of the area communities had communicated that there was some available, but that's not the case right now. So,
Folks, once again, I like to say to Jordan and Kevin, and our road crew and our fire department, our police, let's give them a round of applause, will you? Okay, thank you very much. Next, under announcements, Michelle, would you come up and give us a briefing on the movie night and any other events coming up? This is the chairman of the Parks and Rec Commission in our township.
Good evening. First of all, I want to thank, once again, the supervisors for giving the Parks and Rec Commission the opportunity to provide all these activities for our residents and our attendees. We had movie night at Billy Bell. We had a few glitches, but it all worked out. We had a nice turnout. Cooley Schoolie was there serving nice little ice cream treats for everybody. And I want to just express that we could not have this type of night without our fire department. So besides of all the other things that you heard that they've been doing over the last week, they were there helping us with movie night, setting up the screen, the sound system. They hung out with us. They stayed all night, make sure everything was great. So we appreciate the fire department, and we couldn't do that without them. Our next movie night will be August 16th. We're going to show How to Train a Dragon, and that will take place at the fire station in Pancake. And our big event that's coming up, you've heard me talk about this before. We're so excited about it. It's our Community Day, which will be July the 19th. It's well underway. We have an expanded kid zone this year. We have an escape room, which will be free to anybody that wants to try to go in here and try to get yourself out of there. We have face painting, which is free, and I believe that our Trinity softball team players are going to be doing that for anybody that wants their face painted. We have a balloon artist there. We have our bounce house, our spin art, DJ, Wild World of Animals will be there. We have so many vendors this year, which I'm ecstatic about. And we have our food trucks, and we're going to have a bingo, a basket raffle, and there'll be some demonstrations going on. So please tell your friends and family, and tell your friends and family's friends and family to come on out and join us that day. So we hope you all come out and support us.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. Thanks for doing all that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to read something here that I have from the Washington County Mental Health Association 2025 Professional of the Year Award will be awarded tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th, to Chief Kramer and the City of Washington Fire Chief Richard. Did I pronounce that right? Richard? Okay, thank you. Recognition highlights: took swift action after the traffic suicide of firefighter Michael Scott, a 17-year veteran of the City of Washington Fire Department. Deployed South Strabane firefighters to cover Washington's jurisdictions so grieving members could step away to mourn. Organized immediate and ongoing emotional support, including therapy dogs, a fire chaplain, and behavioral health specialist. Hosted private and multi-agency wakes, coordinated logistics, meals, and quiet space for reflection and healing. Promoted mental health education with PTSD and suicide awareness training led by Chief Kramer for first responders region-wide. And once again, you bring your hands together for Chief Kramer. Congratulations, Chief. Congratulations.
I also wanted to thank Public Works team 2022 for also installing the handicap swing that is in place out of the community park.
Okay, well, let's give them a round of applause too, then, Michelle. Good, good. Very good. Okay, and finally, our township manager, Jeff Ziegler, has an announcement to make at this time.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Weber. I have a sort of a bittersweet announcement to make to the group. The sweet part is that I've accepted the opportunity to serve as a township manager in the community where I live. The current manager is retiring after 33 years. I've been living and it's in Beaver County. As some of you know, that's where I live. It's about 50 minutes away from here. So the good part would be I get to go home every day for lunch and eat my wife's leftovers, and hopefully be a little healthier for it. But the other side of it is I just want to thank the board and the public for being so welcoming to me over the last 2 years. It's been a privilege and honor to serve as your township manager, and I just wanted to thank you. It's been really great getting to know a lot of you. I always remember it, and always been glad to serve. So I'd like to say thank you. It's a 60-day notice, so I'll see you next month.
Well, he will, Mr. Ziegler will be with us at least for another 60 days until we find our new township manager, okay, to serve our township. Thank you, Mr. Ziegler. We'll give you the greater accolades later on, okay? So we'll hold off on that for now. Okay. Township reports and presentations. Letter A, municipal separate storm sewer system, MS4 report. The Board of Supervisors allocates a period of time during this item for comments regarding the topic of stormwater. Each person addressed to the Board of Supervisors is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Do we have anyone, Mr. Ziegler, or anyone in the audience who would like to speak to that issue? No. Zoom, Kristen, Zoom? No one on Zoom? Okay. Okay, thanks. Letter B, Township Manager Report.
So I have a couple of items this evening I'd like to report on. Some development activity that's taking place currently. The Panda Express up in Old Mill, it's the construction is currently underway there. The Seven Brew Coffee Shop, which is right next to that, the building has been placed on the property. If you were up in that area, you probably, like me, were surprised it was just some grading activity. Then the next time there's a building, was prefab, went up in 3 pieces, and it went up fairly quickly. So that is well underway. The former Dick's Sporting Goods store is undergoing some interior renovations for a new tenant, which is going to be Marshall's. So they're moving in over there. These next 2 items, the last 2 items I have for building, are kind of related, possibly. The first would be a burn boot camp, which is a sort of a new wave exercise kind of place to go to down by where the magistrate's office is. You're familiar. It's all the rage to get down there and work out. If that's not your thing, or if maybe after a hard workout, you want to go back up to 12 Old Mill Boulevard, there is an Uncle Louis G's Gourmet Italian Ice going in there. So I'd recommend stopping up there, especially on a day like today when it's really hot. That would be a nice treat. I was going to mention community days. That's already been covered. I think, did you mention the discounted tickets? Are they still available? Okay, so there are discounted Kennywood tickets available at the office here for residents. You want to go to the to Kennywood Park and use them before September the 6th. They're $32 per tickets. And again, that's for residents. Also wanted to note, I was going to talk about the Berry Road evaluation. That's been covered pretty well. But just again, next month at the township meeting, Trans Associates is supposed to be here and make their presentation. And then last, I wanted to note that the township office will be closed on July 4th in observance of Independence Day holiday. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ziegler. Okay, the Secretary Treasury report, you fellow supervisors, you have it in hand. Report from the Township Solicitor.
We've been involved with drafting numerous documents regarding the Washington Mall demolition. We've been also involved with some personnel issues, so we've been busy. That's about it, Mr. Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Makel. Okay, Rob, I apologize for not introducing you at the beginning.
No worries.
Look
No
right
worries at
past
all.
Okay, Township Engineer report.
So a lot of my stuff for this month is coming up in motions at the end, toward the end of the meeting, and then we have a motion regarding some matters of Burkett Manor to talk about. On the 537, kind of a little bit of a holding pattern on the 519 Zediker question. So we're pretty close to being ready to go forward. I think we just want to make sure everybody's on the same page as far as the Board of Supervisors go before we go ahead and advertise that and make that formal. So I'll catch up with Jeff here and discuss where we are. I believe you were looking to have an informational meeting with the folks from the County Redevelopment Authority. So I think probably prudent to wait till after that happens. And I think we were looking at July for that. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, we're going to try and do an informational meeting, probably the second week of July after the holiday. I'll have the folks that are doing the work on the 519 project come in and make a presentation to supervisors, and you can kind of weigh in on that.
The Driscoll Park project, we met with staff, discussed the kind of preliminary high-level plan on that, putting together some cost estimates before we put that in front of you all to take a look at what we're looking at doing there. Station 44-1 ADA stuff, that's on the agenda for later. We already talked about Berry Road, so unless there's any questions on anything else going on in the township, that's all I have for
We'll
this.
probably
month.
need you later on the agenda.
Yeah, sure.
Speak to some things.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks,
Yep.
Rob. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Rob. Number 8, unfinished business, there is none. We move on to number 9, new business. And motion to accept the South Strabane Township audit for financial year 2024. I'm not gonna look for a motion right now, but I do want to have your presentation this time, okay? This has to, of course, this is our year 2024 audit.
Supervisors, thanks for having us here tonight. We have a presentation for you. You have a paper copy in front of you. With public we're here because the Pennsylvania Township Code requires an annual audit of the township. In this case, you look at page 2. See that year ended December 31st. Financial statements are modified at base of the county. The critical thing for the supervisors to keep in mind that everything in this financial is the responsibility of the township. Mr. Diggler and Mrs. Crawford. Our responsibility is to use U.S. generally accepted auditing standards, conduct an audit. Focus of the audit is to tell you whether the financials represent it's on. It was green before, so I wasn't sure. Anyway, whether the financials represent where you were at the end of the year and how you got there. You notice at the bottom of the page, the auditor's opinion is unmodified. Exactly what the supervisors should expect to see. Anything less than would be pretty unacceptable. When we go to the next page, the general fund is the largest of all the funds of the township. At the end of the year, 12/31/24, we had current assets of some $1.18 million. Most of that was cash, $1,060,000. Cash and equivalent, $121,800 of interfund receivable. This is money owed from one fund to the other. We have current liabilities of some $23,800, mostly the holding tank deposit and a bit of unpaid payroll taxes and withholdings at the end of the year. The difference between what you have and what you owe in the general fund is $1,158,000. So $32,000, $32,600 of the park fund reserve. The rest is what we call unreserved fund balance, $1,125,690. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Liquid fuel finished the year with $303,000. With some money in the drug investigation fund, 81,000, capital project, 239, and the fire protection fund at $68,000. Why we talk about this? It's very important for the township. It's three things for the supervisor. The working capital, something goes wrong, this is where you go to fix the problem, gives you the ability to plan for tomorrow. The amount of fund balance right now, that $1,125,000, represents about 12% of the budget we're currently operating. The recommended rule of thumb is anywhere between 10 and 15%. But the decision is always yours, the supervisor. Enviously enough, you're the only people in this room who can raise your own taxes. So when we look at the next page, the history of the fund balance, it's been a bit all over the place. The high point was reached in 2015, almost $1.8 million. We're back to a number close to that $1,125,000 at the end of 2024. So when we look at the following page, that all-important question, how much should the fund balance be? When you look at 10, 15, and 20% of fund balance, budget, so you can see that number should be anywhere from slightly less than $1 million to $1.5 million at 15%. If we were to choose to go all the way to 20%, that would be a $2 million fund balance. We're presently at $1,125,000, right in the mid-range. But if that's sufficient for what the plans are as township supervisors, that's the decision that you always have to make. I would connect to this on the next page. Last year, general fund revenue, other financing sources, $9.3 million. We spent a bit less than that, $9,150,000. Last year, the fund balance did go up $150,000. Arguably, one of the most important decisions is the budget. Last year, we brought in revenues of about $222,000, more than we thought we would. The largest variance was noted in local enabling taxes. We're very conservative when we budget it, but in general, across Washington County, we're incidentally the auditor for Keystone for Washington County. Revenue from owned income tax was really solid, much higher than most places anticipated. We're also in a township where a lot of property changes hands. So you will see transfer tax exceeding your budget in most cases. When we look at the expenditure budget, we spent about $700,000 more than we thought we would. The largest expenditure over was noted in public safety and debt service payments. The big reason for that, folks, we bought the fire truck fund. When you budget, if you know you're going to do something at the very end of the year when you're making the budget for the next year, you should put that borrowing in the budget. But if we didn't make a decision that we needed a fire truck or sufficient fund set aside to pay for one, you're going to end up with borrowing in the current year that will exceed your budget. And that's basically what occurs here. It's not unusual. It happens very often. We audit 60 municipalities, pretty much par for the course. But the recommendation for the future would be, if you know you're going to do something, you want to put that borrowing, the note that it's going to take to pay for the asset, whether it be a new piece of equipment for the road department, whether we add to the park, whatever it is that we do, that borrowing is really a revenue for the current year. And what we're spending the money on needs to be budgeted as well. Now, if we go to the next page, look at revenue. The budget color is green, the blue color is the actual. What you can see, real estate tax came in right on target. We did get more local enabling taxes. We've already talked about that. But every other area of the budget for revenue was right on target. When we look at expenditure, which is the next page, the budget comparison, except for public safety, again, that being the fire truck that we purchased, all of the expenditures were right on target. You'll notice that debt service is more than we budgeted, but we didn't know what the bill was going to be for the monthly debt service at the time we prepared the 24 budget. This is historical performance compared last year to this year, virtually unchanged. Real estate tax, almost identical, a bit more in local enabling over the year before, licenses, permits, intergovernmental revenue, we didn't get as much of that as we thought we would, and departmental earnings, which is charges for services, the police department, so on and so forth, we did exceed the budget there. Page 11, similar charge for expenditures. General government, we spent a bit more than we did the year before. Public safety was much higher. Streets and highways was much higher than the year before. And the employee benefit came in right on target, and debt service obviously up because we have new debt this year. When we go to the next page, our largest single expenditure is public safety. One of the supervisor's biggest responsibilities is to make sure that you all are safe. And we do that in a variety of ways, paying the police department, paying the fire department. And what you see here, this is a pie chart of what and how much police department wages, benefit, $1.9 million last year. Fire department, which is the about 7 o'clock back to 5 o'clock, beige pie, $908,000 of wages and certain benefits. The other big number, the $700,000, which is the pale green from 10 till midnight, that's $772,000. Repairs and maintenance, $85,000. Supplies, administrative, $335,000. Minor other expenditures. The second biggest thing that we spend money on is employee benefits. We have these all grouped together, 5 categories. The large purple group is Medicare, unemployment, workman's comp, $1,253,000. Public safety, health and insurance, which is the police and fire department, $335,000. Actually, that's just public safety. The fire department is the approximate 2 o'clock number, the dark orange color, $151,000. General insurance, liability insurance is $78,000. Public works insurance, health insurance, about $100,000, $120,000. Page 14, streets and highways. The other big place we spend money. This is what the general fund did last year. Public works wages, employee benefits, $549,000. That's the big blue piece of the chart. The green is road construction, $207,000. The reddish orange color, $111,000 for maintenance, and supplies and administrative. But keep in mind, the township also spends money in the road tax, liquid fuel money. That's not part of this, so that would be in addition to what you're seeing here. When we go to the last page, one of our responsibilities to the township supervisors is when we have an audit, we issue a management letter. And these are our including comments. We've talked already a bit about talked a little bit about fund balance already. The very first part of the management letter, the 3 paragraphs there, You're right in the middle range of recommended between 10 and 15 at 12% of the 25 budget. Is that enough? I'll repeat that again. Only 5 people in the township that can make that decision. You all are sitting here and by the phone. Cash and investment management. We always need to be careful there. Make sure that we're earning interest when we have the opportunity, especially nowadays. There's a number of bookkeeping matters. We have a long discussion about credit card usage. Folks, I rarely carry cash, walk around with a handful of plastic. The problem is, it's okay for me to do that because I'm me and I'm spending my own money. But when you're spending somebody else's money, as we are here, we need a few extra rules in place. We would never bring a stack of checks, pre-signed checks, and lay them on the table, and somebody needs to buy something and just grab a check and go do it. But if you don't have an approval process for credit cards to spend the money after it's approved, then it's essentially the same as laying a stack of signed checks in front of you. Now, what's good is the township management has already implemented some of the things that we discussed with them. I'm not going to go any further with that. We'll talk about the other couple of bookkeeping matters, controls over the sanitary operation, patent fee distribution. The prior audit, we recommended strengthening some controls there. We're pleased to know that that was handled this year. Reconciliation of escrow accounts. I find it really strange that nobody in America makes escrow management software. It seems like for many governments that have to collect money for somebody doing a project, whether it be a street opening, whatever, that could be an easy way to do this. We've done a great job here of improving this over the past several years. For those of you who have been on the board for a long time, you'll remember when we were first to auditors, this was a problem. Great accomplishments in that area. When we go to page 4 of the management letter, regulatory matters, annually the state issues new bidding lists. We're now indexed to inflation for decades. With only $10,000. We're now up to $12,900 with no formal bid. 12,000 to 24,000, almost 23,800 requires 3 written quotes. And now up to, instead of 10, almost 24,000, 23,800 requires formal bidding. Segregation of duties. We are a small government. We can't possibly hire enough people for the mail comes in the door, one person opens the mail, hands it to another person, they take the bill out. The third person records the bill. Can't do that. But what you have the ability to do as supervisors is maintain the power of the code. You can sign checks, you can approve bills before they're paid. That ameliorates the difficulty of segregation of duties. You can't get any bigger just risk management. It's the final thing we'll talk about. Folks, your most important job is to make sure that what South Sabine has is protected, spend it properly. At the end of the day, tell somebody what you did. Value of an audit is an unmodified opinion. It's financial evidence that you're doing that job. There are other ways that you can do that job. Public safety, various things that we've heard this evening, or pretty bad weather events. All those things become part of your risk management. How do we make South Korean safer? Improve it on top of that. The final thing, I'd like to thank Mr. Ziegler. I feel bad you're leaving. I enjoyed working with you. Mrs. Kaufman does an outstanding job keeping the book very well. We don't have any difficulty getting things. The last thing is that the board of supervisors will appreciate the opportunity to be audited. If you have any questions, we'll have to get into those for you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. George, we'll start with you. You have any questions on the audit this year, 2024 audit?
It's just so much to go through that I'm still looking.
Okay.
But I'd like to make a recommendation
Go
to
ahead.
table it, but.
We'll do that later.
All right.
Okay.
I'm good.
Jeff?
Your audit was dated April the 28th. When, did township just get this last Thursday?
Well, the out professional standard, that's the date at which we had all the evidence that we needed to issue. Out professional standards give us 60 days to finalize the report once we reach that date. So April 28th. So what is today, June 24th? So we're 4 days ahead of schedule. Ideally, it would be great to have it a little sooner.
No, it's okay. We just got it last Friday.
Right.
And there were a lot of things that have been brought up that need addressed. And I think I would like to work with George and second his motion, or if it's a motion, that we table it so we can review it some more.
I believe you did the same thing last year. I mean, there's no, that's being corrected by the solicitor. I don't think there's a deadline for voting on our report tonight. I don't think we're going to clash and get anything. But if you wait a month or all.
You went into a lot of detail, and I want to thank you.
Yeah.
And you addressed a lot of questions that were in response to your questionnaire. And a couple of them I'm still looking for, but I'd like a little more time to review it.
No, I have no questions. Thank you very much. Good presentation. I enjoyed it. Good. And thank you too, back there. Yeah, okay.
My co-worker, CPA Song Wang.
Jordan?
For a very long time. She's getting married.
You have a question of the audit?
Congratulations. Congratulations on that.
Go ahead.
One concern that we have talked to Marie, I know for a fact that we did not exceed the budget for the engine purchase, nor for capital purchases, even though between supplier, we did not come anywhere close to $7,000. We definitely have.
Okay.
Perhaps that can be addressed between now and the next meeting. 707,000, I think.
7,000.
Mr. Weber, maybe if I could get that information meeting with Mr. with the audit.
Okay.
Page 4 is 707,000.
Okay, George, did you want to make a motion?
Yes, I would like to make.
Yeah,
a
let me
motion.
read this first.
Okay.
Motion accepting the South Strabane Township Water for financial year 2024. Good, George, make your,
I'd like to make a motion to table it for 30 days, please.
okay, do we have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take Mr. Bowles. All those in favor of tabling the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion to table carries 5-0. Okay,
Thank you. Mr.
and
Weber.
we'll set up, and Mr. Ziegler set up an informational meeting with you, okay? He wants, is that what we want to do, an informational meeting? Okay. Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, it takes care of that. Letter B, motion to approve the final land development application from Washington County Transit Authority, DBA Freedom Transit, to construct the Washington County Transit Authority Operations Facility, Bus Depot at 375 Berry Road, parcel number 600-00-00-00-0024-05 in the I-1 Light Industrial Zoning District, subject to the execution of a developers agreement and holding tank agreement. Before we can discuss that, we got to remove it from the table.
I'll make a motion to remove it from the table. Mr.
Need a
Chairman.
second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. All those in favor of removing it from the table, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0 to remove it from the table. Now, seeking a motion to approve.
No, wait, I'll make a motion to accept it.
To accept, okay,
You
need a
gotta
second,
make a
please.
motion, You gotta accept it first, discuss it.
Yeah, then we discuss. Second, please.
Second.
Thank,
Second.
thank you, Mr. Grego. Now we can discuss and go right ahead. Who wants to?
I just
first?
wanted to ask, Rob, you had like a little one sentence thing, the one by one slope. How, is that like 10 foot, 100 foot?
It's the back part of the driveway, so where the driveway wraps around the rear of the building. Off the top of my head, I don't know what that distance is, but that's the back where the property slopes back down to the driveway.
So with you're okay with the pin system?
I'm satisfied with it.
Is that a geotech thing or?
It is.
So you told me
It's
last
essentially,
week,
it's essentially functioning as a wall.
all right.
Where
You're
they
okay.
have a block wall in
All right.
another area of the development. In this case, they have soil pits, which are essentially stabilized.
Yeah, Rob, stand up to the microphone, please.
Sorry, Russ. So yeah, what I had asked them was to clarify that functioning of that soil pin. When they originally submitted that geotechnical report, they did not identify that as a wall. They identified it as just a stabilized slope. I went back and forth with them. They gave me some additional information, clarified their intent with that soil pin, and I'm satisfied with their response.
Okay.
So again, we have other walls, traditional block walls on the property, more to the low side. Sorry, I don't have my bearings on what's north, south, east, and west. These soil pins are limited to the rear of the property behind the building, where the drive kind of circles around the back of the garage, and where that slope comes down to that back driveway.
Russ, do you have a question of Rob?
No, I just couldn't hear it. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. George, you have any questions? Jeff? Okay.
Just make sure it goes into developers. And if it slides over the hill, I'm not responsible for it.
What would slide down onto
Absolutely.
that.
So Rob, you're okay with this?
I'm satisfied with their response, yes.
All right, all those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying, did we move the motion already?
Yeah, we're
We-
discussing, we're voting.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Would you say no?
No.
Okay, motion carries 3-2. Letter C, motion to approve preliminary and final minor
Mr.
subdivision.
Chairman, does the approval for the land development also include the approval for the holding tank agreement?
Yes,
Okay.
those are the two things.
Yeah.
And we got the agreement.
Yep.
I read it. I want to have one, but
Okay, letter C, motion to approve preliminary and final minor subdivision application approval for the subdivision of land for Country Club Road LLC for the property located at 217 Country Club Road in the R2 Suburban Residential Zoning District. And Mr. Ziegler, you give a briefing on that?
Okay, so this is a minor subdivision, like, as you said, over on Country Club Road. The property is 27 acres. There's a house on the property. They're subdividing off 1 acre, which contains that house. The 26 acre balance remains. Planning Commission reviewed it at their June 5th meeting and recommended final and preliminary approval.
make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr.
Chairman.
Murphy. Need a second?
Second.
Thanks, George. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Letter D. Motion to approve an amendment to the final land development plan for Burkett Manor, PRD, from Pennsylvania Finance 2 LLC to get a modification for the sidewalk width in the R4 medium density residential zoning district. Move a motion, please, then we'll discuss it.
So moved.
Thank you. Need a second.
Second.
Thank Mr. Grego. Now discussion. Have anyone want to discuss this issue?
I think, Mr. Chairman, I think Mr. Bo is here.
Where is Terry?
You
Oh,
want to make a
God.
presentation?
Yeah, come on up, Terry, and tell us what's going on, okay? Good to see you.
Good to be here. Good evening. Tonight, we are seeking
Just identify yourself and who you represent.
Terry Bove on behalf of PA Finance.
Okay, good.
This evening, we are proposing a modification to construct 4-foot sidewalks in lieu of the required 5-foot sidewalks in certain sections of Burkett Lane. As we have discussed, sidewalks will be on both sides of the street. Sidewalks will not be owned or maintained by the township. The sidewalks will be maintained by the homeowners association. After some study and examination, we have reviewed first the ADA requirements for sidewalks. And the recent ADA suggests 5-foot sidewalks, but there is the ability with the ADA guidelines to construct 4-foot sidewalks if there is within every 200 feet what we call a 5-foot bump out for passing purposes. It's called passing space bump outs. So we have looked at our development plan and come up with an approach where we would install the 5-foot sidewalks from Burkett Lane to Yellowwood Court. That's coming in on the left-hand side. We would install the space bump outs to the 5-foot wide per the ADA drawing. And that would be in the townhouse section between every building. There would be a passing space bump out. And we have looked at the single family section on Red Bud and Black Oak, and we have determined 20 locations to add these passing space bump outs. Every one is less than the 200 feet requirement, but that is our commitment that at minimum there is a bump out within the 200 feet ADA. We are proposing much less distance than that. The phase, we call it phase 2, part of the development that's not developed yet, we would be installing all 5-foot sidewalks. Additionally, we are proposing to establish a separate capital reserve improvement fund that's specifically limited to sidewalk replacement. The PA Finance and the builder will guarantee certain minimums. At the end of 12/31/25, there'll be 10,000 in the fund. 12/31/26, 20,000. 12/31/2027, $30,000. And what we will do is revise the recorded declarations with an amendment that will into the future add to that escrow account. And we've calculated we can add $10,000 per year if the change to the HOA assessment is $5.75 per month. As a result of that, we feel there will be significant dollars so that the HOA, the residents, and the township is comfortable that sidewalks will be dealt with into the future long term. In addition to that, in our developers agreement, we have a maintenance bond that will be required specific to the line item sidewalks. That'll be $54,458.25. According to the developers agreement, the Pennsylvania Municipal Authorities Act, the maintenance bond is to remain in effect for 18 months. We are committing to keep that in effect for not 18 months, but 30 months. We don't believe that maintenance bond will be activated until the end of the project. After the roads are the wearing surfaces added to the roads, we anticipate that to be 30 months from now. So 30 months to the kickoff, add 30 months is a 60-month, 5-year extended period of time for this, for the maintenance bond to be in effect. To date, the performance bonds are in place with the township. They're in the neighborhood of $3.4 million. PA Finance has not come to the township asking one time to reduce that. That performance bond is still in place. And as you know, your solicitor will tell you the performance bond is, quote, deemed installed. So we feel that with that assurance, with the performance bond in place, this issue and any other issue at Burkett Manor will be successfully resolved to the township's satisfaction. Thank you for hearing it out and willing to answer questions.
Hey, Terry, just one more time for the record. Down in here, he is developer and builder guarantee 2025, 10 grand you put into the fund, right?
That fund will have a balance of $10,000.
Okay, then the next year, you're putting another 10 in?
Correct.
Okay.
And then the third year, another 10 in. We anticipate at that point, we will be turning the HOA over to the resident board members. So we're committing prior to turning over, there'll be $30,000 in this separate fund for capital.
Starting stipend, right?
That's starting. And then we are also proposing that we'll revise our documents, our declaration, our documents, and make sure that into perpetuity, there is adding to this fund. So that if sidewalks last 40 years and there's 37 years added to the 3 years we're pre-funding, there'll be $400,000 in that account.
Gotcha. Anyone else?
Oh, no, I don't want
Yeah.
You, Mr. Crowe, did you notify, how many people live, how many residential homes are occupied?
I believe close to 18 single-family homes, and I believe close to about the same number, 18 townhomes.
Have you notified them of this request to the township?
No, I have not.
Do you think you may, should have notified them of this? Because it does affect their property.
Our application for the modification comes through the township. That's where we've
It
seen.
does, I've been to a lot of HOAs and they sit there and they complain that why didn't we do this, why didn't we do that? But I have another question, this is maybe from the township also. When I look at, this is section 206-52, inspection of private improvements. And this is a private improvement, correct? Sidewalk, correct?
Sidewalks are improvements. Yeah.
Section 206-52 says, the developer should notify the inspector upon completion of private improvements and shall request a final inspection. If deficiencies are found, the inspector shall notify the developer in writing. If the installation of private improvements has been satisfactorily completed in accordance with this chapter, this ordinance, and the approved plan, the inspector shall issue a certificate of completion of site improvements, which shall be a prerequisite to issuance of certificate of occupancy under this ordinance. So the problem you have is that, well, first of all, we should be inspecting the private improvements. From my perspective, reading the ordinance, and I don't know if we're doing that or not, but the ordinance has language that says we should be inspecting these private improvements. And the private inspection is paid for by the developer. That's number one. But I think the question you have to ask, he's asking for a benefit, but he's got a problem with the language about the issuance of certificate of occupancy. So if you request that, he's going to have to ask for a waiver of section 206-52. I mean, and I say from this point onward, I think we should have inspections being done of all private improvements out there because your ordinance
provides for.
Scott, fill me in on this. What do we do with these inspections? What have we done in the past? You don't inspect them at all? I can't hear you.
Just the building itself.
Just the building itself, okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
in addition to what the solicitor said, section 20677, modifications in cases of hardship. In any particular case where the developer can show by plan and written statement that by reason of an exceptional topographical or other physical conditions, strict compliance with any design requirements of this chapter. Okay, it's what he had to do. I distinctly remember Mr. Murphy in this room at a meeting, workshop meeting that we had with him. And Mark said, will the sidewalks be 5 foot? He said, if it's on the plan, it'll be there. I'm looking, I attended the planning commission meeting. Our engineer did not recommend approval of this. And our planning commission recommended that the board deny the application. At the end of the day, this township has rules that our planning commission, they put in place, and there were conditions that were placed on your approval. There's other things that are missing. The lights where they were supposed to be were missing, and they were never wired for, and there's no stanchions for them. So you never intended to put them in. The other thing is you were supposed to put a 20 by 20 pavilion up there for the residents. You didn't. You put a 20 by 40. You put a 20 by 20. So I guess if you put another 20 by 20 in, so be it. But it's just a shame. You put, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it's this board's job to see to it you do your job for the people who are going to be residents of South Urbana. Now, we've had problems with developments in the past, sidewalks and other issues, and this township and this board of supervisors is very sensitive to this. And I was under the impression, or I thought we made that perfectly clear at one of our meetings that, hey, that we're sensitive to this. Why you would go and do all this and not follow your own plans that your engineer drew up is beyond me. For that reason, I'm sorry. I cannot support this. And I do not think that
Mr.
we're
Chairman,
looking out for
if I can
residents.
just address two
Yeah,
of
go
your
ahead, Jerry.
comments. The streetlights that are shown in the plan will be installed. Already have started the discussions with West Penn Power for the type of light, and we'll compare it to what was on the plan. The streetlights will be in a couple of months. You also mentioned
Pavilion.
the pavilion. The pavilion, we've already started the process of examining, should we add to the existing pavilion? Should we place another pavilion in the same area? Is there a better location? Already started that analysis. There will be met the minimum requirement of 20 by 40 on the pavilion. Again, this is a development. There's a couple more years ahead of us here.
Mr. Murphy
I made the list.
specifically, we gave you the list, the species of the trees, which were put in there for a reason, for whatever reason it was, how much they grow to limit the growth and not damage the sidewalk. He didn't put in what we asked for. And I want to tell you something. I'll tell the people in this room, Mr. Murphy went out of his way to see to it everything was followed in this plan. To his credit, and fortunately, I've learned a lot from him. A lot of it's his area expertise at his life's work, but he deserves a lot of credit. And I hope that the people of Burkett Manor appreciate the work that he's done to follow up behind, to see to it everything is, giving the residents what they paid for.
Mr. Nagel, do you have some other items that we need to?
I mean, unless you want them on record now, do I have to put all those things that I brought up on record? or-
I think you should,
All right.
because here's the question. Mr.
No.
Murphy, I mentioned to you
I
in
know.
section 52 of your cell phone. basically saying, once it applies to the plan, you can't get on. So you're gonna, if you're going to grant, it, you're gonna have to waive that.
So, and I gave Mr. Makel pictures, of course, as I said, the trees, aren't the right species. And they're not
Mr.
actually in
Chairman,
some-
we're discussing a modification
So, and that's
request
fine.
on,
If
on
you don't want me to
sidewalks.
bring these up, that's fine. We'll send him another letter like we did for the sidewalks.
Wait, this is your meeting, not his.
I get it. Oh, it's up to you. You tell me how you want it. You're the solicitor, don't
You're saying what the problem is or what?
I'm was just trying to focus the meeting on the modification request.
Okay, then
If
can
you want
send
to
them a
put on
letter like you
record,
did on the sidewalks, that what's wrong and
Okay.
that they have to correct it. That's fine with me.
Sorry, Mr. I'm sorry.
Anybody?
No, George, you have anything to add to this?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Russ? Russ, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just don't understand. Phase 2 is gonna have 5-foot sidewalks. Phase 1's gonna have 4-foot sidewalks. People own the property in front of their house. Even if we say we want 5-foot sidewalks, tear them all out. What are you gonna do with the property owner that owns that property and says, stay off my property? You know, this should have been done right in the first place.
And I think, Russ, thank you. There's another, the most important point here. It isn't the width of the sidewalks. It's that when Mr. Murphy went up to review things, the proper material wasn't put in. They weren't deep enough. The aprons aren't proper. The township has a standard for what's to be put in the sidewalks for strength and durability. You know, that wasn't put in there. This
They
isn't
left
just.
the wire out.
Yeah, they left the wire out or rebar, but we have specifications for that. And we have specifications for aprons too.
But that's the reason why your ordinance, you read it, it says improvements, and you appoint an inspector, whether it's a township engineer or whoever, but the inspections are paid for by the developer. And you're supposed to have these inspections done throughout the process. I just want to make sure you're aware of that.
We are.
The neighbor should have asked for it.
But the problem is, if you look at that section 52, he can't get an occupancy permit based on the fact he didn't apply his own plan.
Well, there's already people living there, so that's not my problem.
You know, Polish saying, just go play on.
So you start immediately with the occupancy permits? Do you start?
Well, I think the problem is you have a dilemma here because he has 3,700 square linear feet of sidewalk installed. And it may not have been installed with appropriate wire mesh, because the wire mesh, what I understand talking to other engineers, is that wire mesh, if you're built on gravel, it provides more support for the sidewalk so it doesn't crack. But again, the problem I think you also have is, if these people are living there right now, maybe you should notify them that they weren't, and I bet you they have been notified that they didn't put the correct sidewalk in. I mean, I would think that and again, I can tell I have every so often I go to HOA, meetings with other townships. And people complain and say, well, why didn't you guys check on this before? It's your fault we have all these issues. That's what I have to do. So, but the question is that he's asking for a waiver of his requirements, and the question is, do you want to grant this waiver? But if you grant that, I think I would suggest basically that he provides notice to the current owners of his properties that their sidewalk may be in deviation of the plan.
Terry, what if they object to it? Say you notify them and they say, we wanted a certain size sidewalk, what would you do?
We would obviously discuss with them the township requirement of that a 5-foot sidewalk be installed.
But they would have to know that ahead of time, what they were promised and what they got. That's what our solicitors driving at.
Yeah, because Mr. Weber, what they'll do is they'll come back and say, look at the map. The plan says 5 feet. Why did you let this happen? Especially when you look at your ordinance, it says you're allowed to approve, you're allowed to inspect in private. And basically, we're gonna have another dilemma here like we've had in the past.
I don't really want to bring up the past, but I think that everybody sitting at this table understands. And I would hope that everybody understands that we need to do right by the people that bought those homes in good faith.
Yep.
Do we move the table or do we move the?
No, we're voting.
Want to vote? Okay.
You want to, so do we have a motion on the table to approve it? So we have to do.
Okay, let me read it. Motion to approve an amendment to the final land development plan for Burkett Manor, PRD from Pennsylvania Finance to LLC to get a modification for the sidewalk width in the R4 medium density residential zoning district. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed?
Yes,
No.
I'm no.
Yes.
No.
Whatever, no.
Motion fails 5-0, Terry.
Okay.
We'll go back to the drawing board.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. E, a motion authorizing J&D Winery to serve alcohol at Community Day.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, who did a second? We need a second, please.
Second.
Thank you, George. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Can I ask? a
Any
couple
discussion?
questions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Good discussion. I went right by it real fast.
So you're all right, going.
Okay, good, Jeff.
J&D Winery is a local business.
Right.
And I know the people and I think the world of them. And I like to support local business. My concerns are that the proper indemnification for the township is provided, an insurance policy to the township, not the park commission, to the township. The property belongs to the township. It should include the park commission. I think it's kind of sad, in my opinion, that we have to have alcohol at a community day. But that being said, it's also good to see a local community be supported. And there's no reason maybe we can't try it one year and hopefully it'll work fine.
So what do we put in there, Mr. Michael?
So if you want to make a motion to permit J&D Winery to provide wine, sales of wine, provide
Wine slushies.
whatever, provide and sell wine and other wine-related products. such
Michelle, is that what it's called? Wine
Wine-
slushies?
Wine slush.
Wine slushies.
I- I-
They actually sent us the application to, be a part of Community Day. They also donated, a certificate for us. Raffle off to, they all do, they are part of, they set up the worship day.
We're just looking for the indemnification. I think we'll be all right.
Plus you want the certificate of insurance.
Right.
Name the township petition, so you want the indemnification agreement and a certificate of insurance, name the township as an additional insured. So your motion would be something to affect, a motion authorizing J&D Winery to sell wine and other wine-related products, subject to them providing the appropriate certificate of insurance, naming the township as additional insured, and an indemnification agreement holding the township harmless. That's someone's motion.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Renita, second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rowan. Any further discussion?
No, I know Chief Hill was looking, I think they need a couple other, but Drew's not here. And I forget why he was going to see if they had the, but I don't know what they, like a license to sell alcohol.
Yeah,
or-
They'll have to have a
They're gonna get a
license.
special occasion permit from,
Okay. All right,
from liquor control.
We include that special
it
occasion
should be
permit.
included that they
We'll
should
put it,
have
let's
it.
put it in the, you have to
What,
adjust your motion.
I don't know what it is. What, a
It's
special
a
what?
special occasion
And
permit.
the appropriate license / authorization to conduct sales. Yes.
Did you get that, Mr. Ziegler?
Yeah. Special occasion permit.
All right. I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. I need a second again. Okay, did you hear that, Russ? Okay,
Yeah.
all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Letter F. Motion authorizing a declaration of disaster and emergency for South Strabane Township and or extension of disaster. Need a motion,
So
please.
move.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Mr. Grego. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Weber,
Yes.
Ask Mr. Kramer, the date of this declaration was what date?
Was this past Monday. So let me look
This
at
past
the,
Monday?
correct,
So it'll be 7 days then.
correct.
Do you think we should extend it for another 30?
No, I met with the county yesterday. I don't believe there's any need to.
Okay, all right, just to make sure.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. Okay, G, motion to accept the resignation of Wendy Wenzel from the position of firefighter effective June 16, 2025.
So moved.
Thank you. Need a second, please.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Rowan, any discussion? It's a personnel thing. Let's move on. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. Letter H, motion to approve the hiring of a full-time and part-time firefighter. You know what?
So moved.
So move. Need a second, please.
Second.
All right,
Thank
now
you,
can discuss
Mr.
it.
Grego. Do you have something to add to it on discussion time? You want to name somebody or just? Yeah.
We have part-time firefighter Roderick Belanti that'll be moving to a full-time firefighter status. And the next person on our list, which is Mitchell Breakiron, that'll be going to a part-time firefighter status.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Letter I, motion to approve a resolution to submit a traffic signal maintenance agreement related to the traffic signal replacement at Oak Spring Road at Washington Mall entrance.
So moved.
Thank you. Need a second.
Second. This is the grant that LSSI is applying for. So it's
Yeah.
nothing, it is nothing out of our pocket, so we get it.
Correct.
It's free.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
For
We're
the
good.
signal owned and operated by the
Okay.
township.
Okay, we have a second on. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 5-0. Thank you. Letter J, discussion regarding Locust Avenue Bank alteration near intersection with Farley Avenue. Motion, please.
I'll go further than that. I'll make a motion for the engineer to do a study on it to see if he can pick up any site distance, because we really gotta start with the engineer, see what they say. So I don't know, can you get, I think you got us did you get us a?
Yeah, I
proposal
provided a
on that?
proposal and that would be the intent of that proposal, complete the survey. And I've got it broken down into kind of pieces. So we would do the survey, do the drawings, do the modeling initially. If we decide to stop at that point, because you guys decide the cost benefit isn't there, we stop there and that's the end of it. So it would basically, I gave you an estimate of time and materials through completion. And that would take it, if we decide to go all the way through, that would take us all the way through supporting Kevin and his guys, doing field stakeout, keeping an eye on what's going on and supporting through that effort. So again, I don't recall exactly how they're broken down, but the first part of it, the field survey is the biggest part, the field survey, the modeling, and the rest of it, we'll support through. If we decide not to proceed, it won't be invoiced.
So the first.
Survey, design, permitting, and then final design.
So the first
Thank you.
phase would be, like, your first bid would be to actually see if you're gonna pick up any additional
Yeah,
site.
so that first piece, that 4,500 estimate on the first piece is the field survey, the drafting, the modeling of the 3D modeling of that, as the road comes up through, and I apologize again. I messed up as
Farley
far
and,
as
yeah,
approaching
Locust.
where the blind spot issue, where we were talking about cutting down the hillside. That hill coming up there, modeling that, and then trimming that, grading that hillside back and seeing how much site distance we actually benefit, how much we can gain from doing that.
All right, I make a
make a
motion to
motion.
send that, the what, 40, how much you say?
That first piece was 4,500.
4,500.
Would the site distance match our driveway permits for a 25-mile-an-hour road?
He won't know it until he does the,
Yeah, I honestly, Russ, I don't know what that is off the top of my head from your regulations, so.
Kevin should still have it. He can supply that to you.
So we're gonna do the first part and then come back and.
I mean, we have to do, he has to tell us
Yeah.
that you're gonna pick up 2
Yeah, so
foot
I'll-
or 200 foot. If
Once
you're gonna
we-
pick up 2 foot, it's probably not worth it.
Once we do the survey, I would come back to you guys or just
Give it a-
circulate an email and say, hey, is this what you're looking for? Is this worth it to you? And if the answer is yes, we do a little bit more, and then we work with Kevin to kind of get it done. Because my understanding again is that you're going to do this with your own internal forces. We will have a little bit of work to do, access agreements to get on the property, the HOP with PennDOT, because you are going to be in there right away. So I mean, there's some permitting things that are going to need to be done too if we decide to proceed. So again, that's all included in the proposal.
You want to make a motion on?
Yeah, I
cover
made a
that?
motion to spend the 45 or 48, which one?
45.
$4,500 for
$4,500.
the- Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, thanks.
That'll get us to the point where you guys can make a decision.
Okay, thanks. Any additional discussion? Go ahead. Good.
So, okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and we're gonna field survey the entire intersection there. And then, once we get that taken care of, we're gonna model that intersection the way it is right now, determine what the existing site distance is. And then we're gonna evaluate if we trim back that hillside, and we level that hillside back and try what kind of benefit we can get as far as site distance goes.
One side of the road, both sides of the road?
Just decide if you're exiting farly off from the left.
Would it take, I was up there and reviewed that. Jeff, did you send the pictures to him that I sent you?
I believe I did, yeah.
Okay.
He's
If you
been on
look-
the site personally too.
If you looking the other direction, for some reason, the property line is set back. I've never seen that done like that.
That could just be in the GIS though, Jeff. It's hard to say. When we do the property, I'll have them go one or two parcels that direction too.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah, that's fine.
Even if that costs us a couple extra
I-
dollars.
I-
You know,
I put a-
that's just as dangerous.
I put a full day of survey in there to properly document that area.
Okay.
When I talk to our surveyor ahead of time, I'll tell him to make sure he picks up that information. We'll pull all the deeds for all those properties along in there, and we'll have all the good, we'll determine exactly where the prop lands go. Because it all affects what we do with PennDOT too, so
Yeah.
we need to know what it is.
All right, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. I hope that's helpful to you. Ma'am? Ma'am, is that helpful to you? Okay. Okay, letter K, motion to authorize our planning commission to begin the process of drafting amendment to the South Strabane Township subdivision and land development orders. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bull. Any discussion on the matter? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Letter L, motion to approve a policy and guideline for roadway inspections and dedication.
Mr. Michael, does this need done right away? Can we table? I'll make a motion to table until we get to talk to Dennis a little bit more about it.
Need a
This is
second,
the
please.
item that Dennis brought up.
Thanks,
Yes.
Mr. Grego. All those in favor of tabling the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to table 5-0.
This would be a good work session item for us to.
Well, we could add that on Sun, whatever that, enter, whatever, the shore, whatever.
Okay. Letter M, motion to award contract CD 23-27 for the station 44-1 ADA improvements project to Valley Construction and the amount of $104,800. Is this the fire hall? Okay,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
thank you. Need a second. Thank Mr. Grego. Any discussion?
Which building is this? Is this the front building or is this the back building?
This is the front building of the pancake facility.
Anything you want
How
to add?
many years
before
has
we
it
go on?
been since that building was used?
Can't answer that question.
They actually,
Too many years since.
We've been applying for grants since I got here to mention it. This is one of the ones that Mr. Murphy. Year and a half ago, we continue applying for grants to make this into a training. Department, but for public safety in general and for public land.
And again, Chief alluded to this, but he's got a vision for that building and what it could be due to the proximity and where it is in the township. It's an intriguing idea and I think there's a lot of merit behind it. These pieces, I mean, particularly this piece, getting this close on the ADA stuff, there's still additional work that needs to be done to achieve ADA accessibility, particularly inside the building. But this at least takes care of the exterior of the building. Plus, if you go out there and you look at it, I mean, you're familiar with the building. That sidewalk, that elevated sidewalk's in a pretty severe state of disrepair.
Well, the whole building's in a pretty severe state of disrepair, and I don't have a problem fixing it up. But I would much rather tax dollars go into a building that the township owns. That's my only, that's my only issue with this. I mean, there could be a lot of good things in the future for that section of the township. A lot of very good things, and, you know, maybe at some time in the future, we can address that. Maybe that particular building becoming the property of the township.
If they, you can, they have an agreement.
Part of that is if the volunteers were ever to cease operation, all volunteer assets and buildings become property of South Strabane Township. That's part of the agreement that we had created.
The other problem is,
2.5 years
other
ago.
than this building, we don't really, that's brand new, so there isn't, it's gotta be used for ADA. And I don't, nobody, well, you've been here long.
Yeah, so
We used the CBG to redo this building, what, 10 years ago? They redid the bathrooms and. Yeah, so
We need windows in this building.
it's not, it has to be ADA.
There used to be picnics out there. People used to rent that pavilion out there. We used to have fire trucks out there. in my community.
There used to be bingo in a rental pavilion out there.
All right, rental pavilion, that's right.
That's when the township made them merge the two departments together.
I think the bingo board's still up on the wall. This was a nice thing for pancake.
I'll just add that, you know, again, I understand tax dollars are tax dollars. It's all tax dollars when you're talking about grant funds. You know, in order to make this happen, the direct cash outlay by the township is about $4,800. And then what in-kind services and material cost you have and the work that the Public Works is going to contribute to this. So all in, you're doing a non-cash match of about $20,000. We bid the project strategically, not knowing where the bids were coming in because bids have been kind of volatile these days. So we provided 3 different specific items that, talking to Kevin, we thought we could handle in-house. We provided those 3 bid items in the bid form. The contractor offered about $20,000 worth of deductions to the contract. We're accepting those. Plus CDBG kicked in another $25,000 on top of the award they already had to make sure this project can go forward. So again, just consideration that, you know, everybody's pitching in a little bit here to get this taken care of. So
Something that we've worked over the past 3 years on is to kind of remove that constant infighting about who maintains ownership, because ultimately it's taking care of our community. And fire stations are community owned. So if that building is there to serve the community, and we were able to get grant money.
Okay. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Can I ask?
Go ahead, George.
Does this grant need match?
yeah, so your match, you have 2 different components to your match. You have $4,800 in cash match that you're committing to in this vote. And you have the $20,000 worth of in-kind match that your own forces will complete. The demolition of the existing structure that's there. The parking lot milling, and then the parking lot paving to establish the ADA parking spot where you would have to park to access the ramp to get into the facility.
So the township's portion is going to be approximately $25,000?
Approximately $25,000, $4,800 of that direct cash.
Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. Motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And Mr. Grego, you can make this motion to adjourn, okay?
Go back to fishing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cody. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of adjournment, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Thanks, everyone, for attending the meeting. Appreciate it.